Yes, at approximately 5:10 p.m., a bear escaped his exhibit behind the scenes and engaged with a keeper. An emergency call went out immediately, and our lethal weapons team arrived within seconds. Emergency protocols were put in place. The bear was shot and killed. The keeper at this time does not appear to have life-threatening injuries, but was transported to the hospital for further evaluation.
Was the bear shot by zoo staff or by JSO?
Zoo staff. We have a professional lethal weapons team that are trained to handle this type of situation.
Can you identify the bear? We know that there's a couple different ones. There's a Betsy, I think is it Billy? Correct me if I'm wrong there, but there's a couple different ones.
The bear was Johnny, a 5-year-old male who's been here since May of 2017.
And when you say the bear escaped its exhibit, like what exactly does that exhibit look like, and how do you know how it got around, whether it was unlocked or kind of break that down for us if you can?
That's what we're investigating at this time, so I don't have an answer for you. So it's still under investigation to figure out exactly what happened.
What kind of bear, Johnny?
Oh,
You go first.
you said the bear engaged the staff member. What does that mean?
We don't have the details of exactly what happened, but there was contact between the two. There was an engagement.
Were there any other staff members around who witnessed this, or any video capturing the incident?
I don't believe we have video, but the help call was heard by another team member who was close by, who made the emergency call to initiate the lethal weapons team.
Do we know how long the staff member has been on the zoo team?
I don't have that answer for you right now.
What type of bear is Johnny?
A black American bear.
Black.
Black American bear.
And it happened right after you guys closed. Were there still customers inside, or did everybody kind of cleared up by then?
If there were very few. Today was, in terms of weather, a slower day, and we had already closed. So if there were very few, and everyone was asked to move to our administrative buildings and the front of the zoo.
And when you,
Is the zoo allowed to share if the employee was a male or female?
At this time, I don't have that information.
and when you said that everyone was told to go to, you said that was the admin building, you said? Is that for visitors, or do you mean like all staff had to clear the way and while the visitors were already gone?
So it's standard protocol in a situation like this that our staff, those that are closest to the administrative building, report there, and then any guests that are around, they are assisted by our staff also to report up to our front main camp office building.
And do you have this information when you said there was contact between the two, some sort of attack here? Was it like a scratch that you know of? Can you confirm those details or clarify any of what type of contact that is?
Yes, I'm sorry. Again, at this time, we don't have that information or much detail on that.
Now,
Is shooting the I hate to interrupt, I'm sorry. Is shooting the bear the last card that could be played? Could we have tranquilized it or done something to subdue it? Help me out here.
Great question. In these types of situations, whether it's at a zoo or in the wild, this is standard operating procedures when it comes to protecting the safety of humans. With a bear, of course, of that size, the first thing is we're protecting a human's life. So euthanization or tranquilizer, wouldn't have been effective.
Now, you said that the bear broke out behind the scenes. Does that mean that
Correct.
when the bear was found and when the bear was shot, he was not in a publicly accessible area?
Correct.
about how many pounds was the bear? You said he's 5 years old. I don't know if you have an idea.
I don't know the weight of the bear.
And what's the protocol following an incident like this? Are you guys maybe going around to check the different exhibits to see if there are any spots where animals could get out? What does that protocol look like following something like this?
So exhibits are checked regularly for their safety and health and strength of each of the exhibits. So because we don't have much information on that, The investigation is ongoing at this time, and some of the things that you mentioned in terms of examining the exhibits to figure out exactly what happened and talking to other staff, those are the first things that are occurring at this time.
Were there any other bears in that same exhibit at the time this happened?
Our bears are kept separate, so we had two, so they're separated. They have their own exhibit, so there was just one that escaped.
And it open tomorrow?
Yes, I don't know exactly the time that will be open, and I can update you on that tomorrow.
And they're on, so you said they stay in their own exhibit, and I asked this a little bit earlier, and I apologize, I just want to get a little more clarity. But when they stay in their own exhibit, like what exactly does the exhibit look like that they stay in? Is it caged? Is it a wall? Is there a lock?
Yes, they have, those exhibits have fencing, the floor to top their outside exhibits, but they are surrounded by metal fencing.
What message would you have to the public who may be a little bit concerned knowing that a bear did get loose?
Well, you know, this is never a situation that it's always heartbreaking and something that we don't like to do. You know, there are cases where this happens, and we are highly trained, our staff is highly trained to handle these situations. We will report out to those that oversee zoos and aquariums, the Zoos and Aquariums Association, but a thorough investigation will be completed, and any recommendations or anything further that we need to do, and once we find out what really happened, we'll institute those steps immediately.
I'm gonna say, is it like you have to report to the accrediting agencies and other things?
Yes,
like that? Okay.
yes. So that is the Association of Zoos and Aquariums.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then as far as that investigation that's ongoing, how long does it take to normally kind of get to a overall conclusion of narrative, things that happened, things went right or wrong? Is that like a couple months? Is it a couple weeks? Or?
I don't know the exact time frame of that, but we do place a lot of thought and due diligence into situations like this, so we do want to be very thorough. Likewise, so does the AZA. That's who we are accredited by. We have been for 30 plus years. They have very rigorous steps in place, and we follow those happily, so we will comply with whatever information that they ask us for.
I hate to ask this, but will Johnny be replaced anytime soon?
You know, that's unknown at this time. Yeah, we don't have an answer for that right now.
It sounds like you guys were all connected to these animals. The fact that you even named them, I'm pretty sure that's at the same time, I'm glad that the employee is safe. But it must be a heartbreaking feeling for you guys because, I mean, you love animals, you work here at the zoo.
Absolutely. The zoo's been around for over 106 years, and our mission is to connect people with wildlife and wild places. So we love wildlife, and our staff has a huge passion for animals as well. Our animal care team has cared for these animals for years. So this is something that is very disheartening to us to have to face a situation like this.
Have you guys had to shoot an animal in the past?
I don't have information about that. It doesn't quickly come to my mind that this has occurred before, but I'd have to get back to you on that.
I just want to make sure you said so it happened at 5:10. How quick was the response to help the employee, and how quick was the response to get officials here to take him to the hospital?
I don't. Within seconds, our lethal weapons team arrived and were activated. I do not have the time frame that it took for an ambulance to get here.
How many other bears like Johnny are there now remaining at the zoo?
One.
Just one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what's that bear's name, if you can say?
I'm sorry, we have, I'll have to get that information for you. We've got 2,000 species, and I don't want to misquote.
One last thing, we saw JSO out here. Can you clarify kind of what they're doing out here?
Yes, we partner with JSO regularly for training and for situations like this. They're a very close partner. of ours, and we count on them as well. So likewise, they assist us with the investigation, and they oversee that from a police perspective and get all of the information that they need as well. They're very due diligent. We partner with them, and they ensure that we enacted our steps appropriately, and with the training that we do with them on a regular basis, we're very comfortable with that, so that they're a great partner for us.
Where this happened in the exhibit? Where is it, just in reference to where we are, just to kind of get an idea?
The exhibit?
Yeah, so where it happened.
So the exhibit is located in Wild, Florida, which is maybe 3/4, one third of the way down the zoo. So not too far, about halfway down.
Is it fair to refer to this as a bear attack, or what's the terminology that you guys would use?
You know, again, we're still investigating. We don't have all the facts of what happened, so we're kind of still piecing that together. So before we label it, right now we're just calling it was a bear escaped and engaged with the keeper. So until we know a little bit more, which may not be until tomorrow, it's hard to kind of define that.
And they're not life-threatening injuries, but you don't know any, like, specifically where, whether it was leg, arm?
Not where, or the details of that, but again, it appeared it wasn't life-threatening, so.
And you said tomorrow. Is that because you guys need to talk to the person who was injured, or is it dark out, maybe hard to see things?
All of those are certainly apply. We want to make sure that we talk with everyone, get their statements, everyone that was around, and part of this, of course, examine the exhibits, which, as you mentioned, is hard to do at night. So part of that we'll wait till morning. Some of that was already done because at 5:10 it was still light outside, but we'll want to make sure that we get all of the accurate details and facts.
Thank you so much for your time.
I'm done with that. Do you have any photos of Johnny?
Johnny. As soon as I head back to the office, I can see if I can locate some and email those to you. If you guys, several people have called or emailed me. I'm not sure exactly who, but I'd be happy to give you my email address so that, or you can give me, I'll give you my email address. You can email me, and then I can forward that to you.
So we can just text it to your number?
That too.
That works.
Mhm.
You guys have surveillance cameras in that section? Is there think you might have video of what happened?
I don't think that there are video cameras in that area, but if there are, that's something that we'll certainly take a look at and mention that as well. But I don't believe that there are.
One other thing I was just thinking. So after the zoo closes at 5, kind of what typically happens? Do the animals get fed after, or what goes on? I've never, been behind the scenes.
Yeah, our animals have free choice to go in and outside of their exhibits freely. That's part of our animal wellness program, so that our animals thrive and they have the choice to make. But yeah, sometime between 4 and 6 o'clock is when they get fed.
Anybody else?
Thank you. Sorry, we
Thank you
bombarded
so